You know that moment where you've had a fantastic conversation with somebody about what you do and how you can help them, and you're just at that point where you need to tell them specifically what you offer and how much it costs and how they can sign up? How good are you at that bit right there? How good are you at telling them exactly how you can help them, exactly what they can buy, exactly how much it costs, and how they can get started with you? Because I know for lots of people, this is one of the ickiest moments in business. That point where you've got to talk about price and ask somebody if they want to buy from you. So I want to share with you today two really simple tips. They're simple tips. They're not something you can do in 2 minutes. It might take a bit of work for you to get there, but in principle, these are simple tips that will really help you to improve that conversation around, here's what I do, would you like to buy? Now, the first thing I would say is to make sure that you are super clear on exactly what it is you offer. So if you're going into a meeting or onto a call and you can help people in 35,000 different ways, then your ability to explain exactly what they can buy from you is really hampered. For you to be able to explain in a nutshell exactly what they can buy, that needs to be done succinctly so they completely get it and they're able to make a decision. So the best way that you can help them in making an easy decision is make sure that you have something like some clear packages or very clearly documented menu of services or something like that, and not a great big menu, not a list of 27 things, but a list of a small number of things, so they're choosing between one or two packages, products, services. So you've really got to help narrow down that choice for them. There's a lot of evidence out there, psychological evidence, that shows when people have too much choice, they are less likely to make any kind of choice at all. People will not make a decision if they have too many options. So there's my first tip, is really think about how you can form some packages or some key products or services so that you are able to say to somebody, I can work with you in this way, or I can work with you in this way. And then you're giving them a really simple choice. That's going to really help on two counts. It helps them to understand what's on offer, so they're in a much better position to be able to make a decision. But it's also so much easier for you to be able to actually explain that, rather than giving them a whole range of different options and trying to explain everything and feeling like you're off at a tangent or you're rambling crazily and coming off that call or out of that meeting feeling like you've not done yourself justice. So really clear packages that you have either got on a printout or something like that with you at that meeting or during that call, so it guides you, keeps you on track, and it helps you to make things really simple, both for them in understanding and you in explaining. So that's tip number one, is to have some really clear packages so you go on to every call or into every meeting knowing exactly what you're going to offer them. And over time, that just becomes really natural and really practiced for you to explain, so it rolls off the tongue rather than any kind of awkwardness or confusion. Tip number one, really clear packages or products. And tip number two is to be absolutely nailed on clear and never deviate from your prices. There is a lot of pressure out there at the moment to be discounting prices, slashing budgets and things like that. And this is never good for business. So my absolute cast iron advice is know your price and stick to it. Anytime you deviate from that price, it causes a whole knock-on effect. It creates uncertainty in the way that you position that, and any uncertainty in the way that you put across your price creates uncertainty in the customer's mind. If they don't think you're 100% certain about your price, then they will question your confidence in what you do. So really clear prices that you stick to is very important to build confidence with the customer. And the other fact, of course, is that if you start at one price and then you negotiate or discount or any of that whole kind of bartering and haggling, then you run the risk of damaging your integrity with that customer. You open the door to all sorts of questions about why you didn't give them your best price in the first place, whether they could have asked for a bigger discount, whether if they had had a different conversation on a different day, they might have got a better or a different price, whether somebody else might be paying less than they are. So actually, discounting is really bad for integrity. So yes, avoid it like the plague. It's terrible for your margins and your profitability as well, but that almost goes without saying, but it's just as bad for your integrity. And it also can really undermine the customer's confidence to make a decision. So if you want to make that moment much easier, that point where you're explaining to a customer, this is how I can help, this is how much it costs, would you like to go ahead? Then the two key things for you to work on are having some really key products or packages that you already know about before you go into that meeting or onto that call. You've already got that there. You know exactly what you're talking about. And having super clear prices for those products or packages that you stick to without fail. So you've got the knowledge and integrity that all of your customers pay the same price, unless of course the price has gone up, in which case all new customers pay the new price. But you've got that knowledge that every customer pays the same price. There is no wriggle, there's no deviation, there's no negotiation, because you stand in complete integrity behind those prices. So clear package, clear prices. Simples, isn't it? So hopefully that is helpful, especially if you're somebody who finds that whole salesy bit quite awkward or uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be. If you're more prepared and you really know what you're presenting, what you're talking about, you can take away a lot of that uncertainty and emotion around that area of your business. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments or in a reply to an email what you think of this and how it really resonates with you. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, and of course share this video with anybody else you think could benefit. Thank you.